Okay, I think we're live. Good morning, beloveds. I'm running a little on empty today. Yesterday happened. We had it started off really quiet, which is a good thing. Then we had a fairly busy afternoon, and there were just two of us all day. Yeah. So I, of course, crashed out on the couch after class and went to bed because I fell asleep on the couch I went to bed at 2:30. And it, at one point, at 5:30 in the morning, I went to the bathroom, and my bathroom floor was so cold that when I got back into bed, my feet were painfully cold. So it took a minute. I had to warm my feet back up before I could go back to sleep. I'm just this morning. But all right. So we have a really short one today, and normally I would do two, but one, I'm running behind, and two, So, and I like the title because it's "Don't Defeat Yourself," which is kind of what I feel like I'm trying to do today. So I'm let's just focus on that. So let's do the housekeeping really quick, and then we will get into a new design for living. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you, our Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. That'll get you one email a week, tells you what's going on for the week and the month, and the hot links are hot. There's also a blind CC, so nobody's going to see your email. And then I mentioned the social medias. Well, one, because I'm doing it on social media, and two, we don't monetize the social media. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is go like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform you're on, and then engage with the individual post by reacting, commenting, and sharing. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, based on which platform you are on. And I am the Running Ryan on all of the platforms that I am on. And I am not on all of them. By the time we were ready we were really getting into the whole social media thing, Twitter was already a moral morass. And I was like, I'm not doing it. So, none of us are on Twitter. And Blue Sky seems to have come and gone. So, and while we do have a Threads, I only post on Threads from Instagram. So, I don't even have the app on my phone. I'm sure that, Meta, whatever they call themselves, would be disappointed to know. But nope, not doing it. So, all right, let's do this. Like I like to say, this is a process. This is the process of science of mind. It was written towards the end of his career. Most likely what happened is William Kinnear pulled a bunch of his stuff together and said, hey, here's the process of science of mind. So we're currently in chapter 10, which is a new outlook. And like I said, today's really, really short, but I need the grace. So we're going to go with the really short one. And it's don't defeat yourself. Because you know what? We all need to hear that probably more often than we don't. So don't defeat yourself. Even at this point, this will still be a new and startling idea of life for many. The reason for this is that we have become conditioned to the thought that we must struggle and endure. That we must be continuously defeated and everlastingly harassed. The only pressure, the only domination, the only defeat that can ever descend upon us from outward conditions can arise only from the result of some inward process of thought, the unseen cause. The best thing that any of us could ever do would be to gather together all the morbid, depressing, limiting ideas that we have been carefully nurturing in our pattern of thinking and consume them in the fire of our newly established conviction of faith in the unity and goodness of life. These ideas we will be getting rid of come from a feeling, conscious or unconscious, that we needed to be punished, which probably constitutes the greatest negation of the human mind, probably constitutes the greatest negation the human mind has ever entertained. And I can lay that sin squarely at the feet of religion. The easiest way to control people is to tell them that they're bad, to tell them that they are wrong, to tell them that they are sinful, to tell them that they were born sinful. Okay? And that is one of the things that made me leave mainstream Christianity. Because I cannot look at a baby and see sin. I cannot look at somebody who was raised in a tiny little village in the middle of what I would call nowhere, who has never heard the name Jesus Christ, and believe that the God of my understanding would condemn them to hell because they've never heard of Jesus. You know, we've got all of these thoughts and feelings that have been wired into us by society, by culture, by religion, that are not good for us. They are absolutely negative. And we have built whole systems around this. It's one of the reasons why our justice system is a joke. Because we punish people for basic necessities, you know, rather than making sure that everybody's needs are met. You know, we put people in jail because they're stealing food because they're hungry. Make it make sense. You know, you can't punish people for trying to meet their basic needs. You need to help people meet their basic needs. And so that's what he's saying. But that's what I'm saying is we have built systems on this idea that we need to be punished. And don't get me wrong, there are people who do bad things who definitely need to be punished. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that too often we punish people for trying to meet their basic needs rather than helping them meet their basic needs. There's lots and lots of research out there when people with money have come into impoverished neighborhoods and they have provided the basic necessities of food, shelter, and water, and the crime rate goes down. Who'd have thunk it? So my point is, he's saying we need to, do this on an individual level. Yeah, we do need to do it on an individual level. But we also need to recognize that we have built systems on these feelings. We have built systems on original sin. We have built systems on the idea that we were born bad. And we wonder why the world looks the way it does. If we could build systems on the idea that we're good, that God is good, that life is good, and we build systems that help and support each other rather than depriving and, punishing each other, the world would look entirely different. So, I am fully on board with, let's take all of those feelings that we were, and I don't think people did it on purpose. I don't think your parents who loved you, who took you to church, intended for you to grow up feeling like, I was raised Catholic, and going to confession made me crazy. Because, as a child, I have to go to confession before I can receive communion, but I haven't done anything worth confessing. And that's kind of one of those things where I was like, make it make sense. So I have to make up something that I've done, which right there is the sin, right? Now, I'm making up something so that I can go to confession so that I can receive communion. It doesn't make sense. Don't defeat yourself. And that's why I like that line so much. Let's take all these negative patterns and thoughts and consume them in the fire of our new conviction, in the conviction of the unity and goodness of life. Okay? Let all of that stuff go. And, It really, yeah. My partner and I have different reasons for leaving, the faith that we grew up in, but we also have very similar reasons for leaving the faith that we grew up in. And it really does have to do with that idea of that we were born bad, because we're not. We're not. I say get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. It is all the divine knows. It is all, because the divine is good. So, if we consume the negative powers, the negative patterns and feelings in that fire of conviction, then we can take apart the systems that we've built on those feelings. And then we can truly create a world that really does work for everybody. Okay. Let me get back up on my soapbox. And I'm done. I'm stopping there. I'm getting off my soapbox, and I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, fantastic day, magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of yourself day, a take care of business day, a take care of those negative thoughts day, a let's burn them in that fire of conviction day, a remember who you are day. And whenever I always follow that up with you are a beloved expression of the divine day, because remember who you are. A let all that nonsense go day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a drink plenty of water day, a dress in layers because it started in the 30s and it's going to end up in the 70s here day, a let's know good thoughts for all of our nor'easter people, because they got a lot of snow. Day, a tell somebody you love them day, a go look in the mirror and see the divine looking back at you day, a I think I'm out of words day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because I'm having a fairly animated day, if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call it, you are a godling. So, explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. In the fires of my conviction, it's all the divine knows. That's it. Goodness. All right, beloveds. I'm fairly animated this morning. I woke up cranky this morning. And sometimes crankiness translates into animated. So here we are. All right. But I am going to move on into the process of my day. I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. I'll be back with you around 9.